Hello and welcome to this vlog. This is vlog number 5 from Corey's Vlog. I'm just standing here. It is just about 10 a.m. on a Thursday morning. It is October 10th, 2019. I'm just sitting here with my coffee, by the way. I love coffee. I drink a lot of it. Black, no cream or sugar. And it's 10 a.m. as I told you, and I woke up this morning at about maybe 5:15, like sort of my usual time. I came in here and I've already made 7 videos of the planned 10 videos for this week's videos on the Well-Rounded Pianist. I've been very productive this morning. Already 7 videos. Actually, I made 3 of them last night. Then I made 4. The first thing this morning when I got up, I made 4 more videos. It took a couple hours at least for that and processing them. And finally, I have all of my 10 videos about 80% complete right now. It's on a Thursday, and I try to get them all finished and uploaded by Saturday, the very latest by Sunday. So that's my, so I've done well, but in doing that I had to miss my exercise today. Occasionally I'll miss days of exercise. I might exercise some a little bit later today if I have time. Stay tuned later in this video and I'll show you how to make an absolutely delicious eggs and beef spiced with thyme and rosemary. And I just wanted to tell you a couple things here that you might not know about me. I'm a very good cook. I've never formally been trained as a chef. Actually, there was a time back in my early career, it was like in the mid-90s, I was finishing up graduate school, and I was very disgruntled. I had a hard time finding a job in the music field, and I was almost ready to change careers. One of those changes was computer science. I was considering going into computers because there were more jobs in that area, and I have an analytical type mind, and I was always good in mathematics. So I thought, well, that would be good for me. So I took a whole year of courses in a community college, and I did well at that, but something just pulled me back to music. So I ended up not going into computers after all. The second career choice of mine, other than music, was culinary school. I was seriously considering going into some sort of a culinary school and becoming a chef, because I've always been very gifted at cooking. It's just something that comes naturally to me. I know how to spice things instinctually. I don't need to read menus. I can just give me some ingredients. I'll go in the kitchen and I'll make up something absolutely delicious from those ingredients. I have this gift. It's an amazing gift. On the other hand, people like my wife, for example, does not have that gift. I mean, there are a handful of recipes she can cook really well, even things that I don't cook, but she learned those early on, like from relatives and so forth. So there are certain things she cooks, but she can't just get a handful of ingredients and go in the kitchen and whip something up like I can. Also, she tends to work more she has to have a recipe she works from. I hate recipes. I don't like reading recipes. I just go in there and I just do whatever I want. But it seems that everything I make just is delicious. I have this way with spices and sauces and things like that. So I'll show you more of that in future vlogs. But this one here, I'm going to show you a no-carb or a very, very low-carb recipe of scrambled eggs with leftover pot roast, seasoned with thyme and rosemary, cooked in butter. It's absolutely delicious. I just ate it, and it's going to hold me over for another at least 5 hours, so I won't have to snack on anything. This low-carb diet, which I'll talk about in future vlogs, is absolutely amazing. Look at that. It's just melted fat mostly off my midsection. One thing I love about the low-carb diet, the very low-carb diet, is that it melts fat away from your midsection, but it doesn't make you emaciated with your muscles. Because when I was on, a couple of years ago, I was on a all plant-based diet. And actually I did lose a lot of weight on that diet, but one of the things is I hit a wall, and after I hit that wall, I noticed that, I did lose around my midsection, but I just became weak. And, I felt like it was probably just lack of protein, lack of animal protein and animal fats. So I feel like this low-carb diet makes me, improves the whole body profile. It just doesn't it cuts fat in the right areas, in the midsection where most men want to cut the fat. And it curbs your cravings for sugars and carbs. I'll go into that in future vlogs. But for now, stay tuned, and I will show you how to make a delicious egg and beef recipe. Hello and welcome. In one of my last vlogs, I showed you how I cook my bacon and eggs on a typical morning, which amounted to about 1,000 calories or so. This is sort of a variation on that. I'm using 3 eggs. This is a bunch of pot roast that was left over from yesterday, and I cut it up. I'm not sure how much that is. It looks like perhaps 6 ounces or so of pot roast, and about the same amount of butter that I usually use for bacon and eggs. I'm going to show you a really good way, delicious recipe for beef and eggs. If you have any pot roast or perhaps roast beef lying around, you cut it up into nice little chunks like this. Use as much as you'd like, and stay tuned, and I'll show you how to cook this up. Actually, let's crack these eggs in here and get this set here. Make sure you do scramble up your eggs really, really, really well. Stay tuned, and I will show you how to cook delicious beef and eggs. Okay, so I have my pan heating up here to a medium heat. It's about on number 5. I'm going to throw the butter in there, and we're going to melt it up. You can do this to help melt the butter. Okay, so the butter is just about melted, and I'm going to take the beef that was cut up here and put it in there. Don't be scared of fat. There are some parts that have fat on it like that. Do not be scared of that. It's actually good for you. So we're going to put that in there, let that cook up a bit. Spread it around nice. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. This is iodized salt. And thyme. Thyme really goes well with beef. So I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit, a little sprinkle of thyme in there, like that. Here we go, rosemary. That's rosemary tastes really good with beef. So I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of rosemary in there. Stir it up. You want to cook this up at least 3 or so minutes. Get it until it's nice and cooked and even a little bit crispy if you like it that way. Okay, this has been cooking up at least 3 or so minutes. It's nice and cooked with the butter and our rosemary and our thyme and our salt. Just going to scramble up the eggs a little bit more here. I have 3 scrambled eggs. I'm going to pour that in there like that. Just turn the heat down a little bit. You want it to solidify a little bit before you turn it around. So like when you make scrambled eggs, you want to wait a little bit. You don't want to just scramble it up right away. Let that sit for a couple minutes like that on a medium-low heat. Okay, it's been in there a minute or so, or a couple minutes actually. I'm going to take it and sort of turn it around like that. Try to keep it intact if you can. Eggs do not need that long to cook. So actually, it is just about done right now. You can turn the burner off, get your plate ready, and here we go with a delicious, absolutely delicious eggs and beef. And if you want, optional, it's also very nice with some mushrooms in there. So you can like either open a can of mushrooms or you could use fresh mushrooms in there, but you have to put them in with the butter. Doesn't that look wonderful? That's probably about, I would say, around 800 calories or so. That's a really nice breakfast that will hold you over for several hours, at least 4, if not 6 hours, if you eat this, and you won't want to eat any sweets or anything of that nature. So I hope you enjoy this. Looks delicious.